According to Marjorie Taylor Greene, so take it with a grain of salt, former Republican Representative George Santos is being tortured in prison. And to prove that he is being tortured in prison, she offered some evidence for us this week. One piece of evidence, the one piece of evidence is a hand-drawn sketch that I'm assuming she made herself, that she posted on social media, of the alleged cell in which George Santos is being held. Not an official blueprint from the prison, right? Not a photograph, a hand-drawn sketch of the cell, which I am so sorry, folks, which she says has no windows. George Santos is not getting sunlight, as if he's a pretty little flower that needs to blossom and not a hardened criminal who's getting what he deserves. And she went further, folks. It's not just the lack of sunlight. Let me read you this, what she put on social media. They say he's in solitary confinement for his safety due to threats. I'm told he is in his cell 24 hours per day and he's only allowed to get a shower 3 times a week. He does not get any sunlight. He's only allowed to buy stamps from the commissary and is drinking water from the sink. This is torture. Now, those are her exact words. Those are the words that she put on social media. He's only allowed to drink water from the sink. That's torture. Marge, where do you think most people get their water from when they go get a glass of water, right? Not everybody's got a Frigidaire sitting there with the water in the fridge nice and chilled, where you push the button in the door. Did you think Santos was going to have one of those in his cell? He has to drink it out of the sink like an animal. Most people get their water out of a sink. That's what sinks are for. Water. I don't understand. Like, how is that torture? This is so funny to me. It's about to get not funny in a second, trust me. But it's so funny to me that she thinks that because he's not living a life of luxury in prison, that he's somehow being tortured, which of course is exactly what she claimed about the Capitol rioters who were also in jail. It's all torture. I mean, my God, George Santos ordered a filet mignon. He ordered it medium rare and it came out blue rare. Are they trying to kill him with undercooked meat? The wine isn't even chilled properly. Oh, torture, says the multi-millionaire Marjorie Taylor Greene. George Santos is a con man. He is a fraudster and a liar. And he is serving time for the crimes that he committed. It's not a life of luxury. You want a life of luxury, you got to have something to offer Donald Trump like Ghislaine Maxwell. Then you get the good prison. You get to go to yoga class. Santos has nothing to offer Trump. But nevertheless, Marjorie Taylor Greene is making the plea to Trump. I have sent a letter asking for his sentence to be commuted. 87 months is way too long for the crimes he was sentenced for. There are criminals as we speak serving in Congress and many other former government officials that are criminals walking free that did far more heinous things than George Santos. George Santos had a better voting record than most members of Congress, including everyone who voted to expel him. Honestly, George should be pardoned. So she's asking Trump to either commute the sentence or pardon him. And Trump probably will. He probably will do this. But I got to ask here, Marge, certain crimes, if you have knowledge of them and do not report them, that in and of itself is a felony. So when you use the word criminal, which is a libelous term, by the way, if you call someone a criminal when they have not been convicted, they can sue you, and 100% of the time they will win for defamation. But you're referring to your colleagues in Congress, some of them as criminals. Okay? Who? And what crimes? And if you know these crimes were committed, and have not reported them, depending on the crime, if it falls under very certain criteria, you yourself could be facing felony charges. So you're just going to keep serving in a body that you say is filled with criminals and you're not going to turn the criminals in? Right? You're not going to call Crime Stoppers? Try to get, that $500 reward? That probably means nothing to you, but hey, you could donate it to George Santos so he could buy more than stamps at the commissary, right? See how it all comes full circle, folks? Here's the thing. Conditions in prisons across the United States are, in fact, horrendous. We need real prison reform in the United States. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is an advocate for that when it suits her politically. If she wanted to have a real, genuine discussion about reforming the conditions in prison, about working on rehabilitating people in prison rather than just locking them away and forgetting about them, I'm here all day for that conversation. But that's not what she wants. She wants prison reform only for her buddies, the Capitol rioters, George Santos. That's it. She doesn't want it for the population in general in prison. And therein lies the problem. You cannot selectively say this person should get special treatment. This one needs to have prison reform. Everybody else rot for eternity. No. You want to talk about prison reform? We'll talk about it. We'll push for it. I would be willing to work with you on it. But that's not what you actually want. You just want your little buddies out of jail. And that ain't how it should work. Thanks for watching, everyone. We're inching closer and closer to 1 million subscribers, and we're aiming to hit that goal before the year closes. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining us as we head towards this huge milestone.